Considering the stakes tonight, how pleased were you with your group's poise, the ability to hand the runs, the moment, and all the emotions of a game like tonight?
I mean, that was a big-time just team effort by committee. These guys all stepped up, played their role, did what was asked, followed the game plan. I think our defensive effort, what Coach Osborne has done with these guys in order to help them defend the right way and follow the game plan was absolutely incredible.
You guys have had your resolve tested plenty of times this year. You guys went up 22, then they cut it back down all the way to 3. Just how did your team respond to that run and ultimately build the lead that they did at the end?
Because we'd been there before. You know, I think we've been in these situations in the close games at home. Our ability to get the stops and get the runs at the right time was very big for us. But you saw the group come together on the court when they went on the run. I think we had 6-1 fouls in that third quarter. But our ability to not let that rattle us and then dig in on the defensive end and get out and get some easy baskets, now that created the momentum. Our crowd got into it, and that just propelled us.
Jamahl, what kind of impact did Cole Anthony have on tonight's game, and what kind of season has it been for him?
I mean, it's been up and down for him. I mean, 26 points tonight, but just his energy, his spark, his juice, what he provides for this team coming off that bench. He plays fearlessly, and that's how we need him to continue to play. It's been up and down because there's been moments when, you know, we talked about it early in the year, he was out of the rotation, and then he found a way. The next time down, he walks himself back in and helps us win the Miami game. So that's just who he is. His resiliency, his toughness, his spark that he gives this team off the bench is just, it's what we need.
And in that same vein, Cole, AB, Dell, they all had big games. It seemed like just whenever Atlanta made a run that they were one of the 3 that had an answer. Just those 3 combined, just kind of speaking for the resolve of your entire group, how vital were they?
They were big. I think AB's defense at different times was fantastic, being able to get in the passing lane, attacking the basket, getting downhill, making the right plays. I think Dell was the biggest key to this game right now. He started He started the game that way. His physicality, his presence, his rebounding, his toughness set the tone from the beginning of the game, and I think that's what we're going to continue to need from him.
Jamahl, can you talk a little bit about the challenges that you've had this season with the major injuries to major players, how the next step up mentality has strengthened the team overall for players, for example, AB, who had a lot of time in the starting lineup because of injuries?
Yeah, it says a lot about the group. It says a lot about the coaches. It says a lot about these players, that there's a level of toughness and resiliency to them. And I've said it time and time again, this group is enough, no matter who's on the floor. They've proven that they're enough to do at any given time, no matter the circumstances. And what that adversity did was it created opportunity. It created opportunity for guys that might not have gotten it before, and then you're able to see guys step up. So in these big moments and big games that they've been in, we've had probably 30-plus close games. These guys have been in them, so they understand that these moments, they're enough to make the shot, they're enough to make the right play, and that's what you see these guys doing, making the right play at the right time because of what we went through early on, that they understand their confidence level and who they are and who they are to this team.
Coach, you mentioned confidence. A lot of guys stepped up today, 5 guys in double figures. What does that do for your confidence heading into the playoffs?
These guys believe in each other. They believe in what we're capable of doing. And, again, this is what the adversity early on created, because you have to come together. You have to focus on what you can do in whatever circumstances you're in, and that's what these guys have proven to do. It wasn't easy. We had to figure it out, hard conversations to figure out what we need to do in order to get over the hump. We talked about home court last year, but obviously circumstances changed, and so our ability to find home court in the play-in was big. However, we have to look at it, and that's what this group has done.
KCP, an off shooting night, but it seemed like in that third quarter especially, there were a couple moments where he gathered the huddle and just kind of gave him a pep talk, like, let's hang in here. Just where do you see his impact in that aspect of just trying to be a leader when it got a little rocky there in the third?
Championship pedigree. That's what it is. Whether he's making shots or not, he's going to guard his tail off. He's going to communicate with the guys. He's going to bring the huddle together because he knows that's exactly what it takes. In a game that you said gets down to 3 points in one moment, it's easy to go the other way. It's easy to get rattled. But he's a champion for a reason, because he understands exactly what it takes in those moments, that every team's going to go on a run, and you can't get too high, you can't get too low. You have to stay the course.
Coach, you've been talking for weeks, one game at a time. Is this result of this one game somewhat of a relief? It frees you up now. You're in. It frees you up now for game planning one opponent only?
It's definitely a relief in a way, but it is, to your point, it prepared these guys for the one game and knowing how important those games are. So they weren't shocked when we've been talking about the one game since the Clippers game. I mean, it's just one game at a time, figure out a way.
Yeah, Coach, the playoffs were not guaranteed for this team. Work is not done, but how much are you embracing the opportunity to get the Magic back into the postseason?
We all embraced it, and I think because of what we said happened throughout the year, the adversity that you hit and all the things that you go through, however you get there, you get there. And sometimes the path is one way, and for us it was a lot of injuries, a lot of tough nights, a lot of close games lost, but then finding a way to get the job done now. And that's the goal, is to get there, but also to make some noise in there and not just to settle for just saying we accept just being there. Like, this group believes in what they're capable of doing on any given night.
Coach, back here. So how important was it just for you guys to knock down a couple threes tonight? As you know, you're about to go into Boston Garden and face a team that loves to shoot threes.
I mean, you're not going to try to get in the rat race with them. They shoot 53s a game. That's not our identity, and we won't try to make it our identity. But at the end of the day, for our guys to go 11 for 39 and still have 28 assists says something about this group. And for our ability to get the defensive stops, which was where we hang in our hats, that's what's created.
Coach.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Hey, Mark.
Facing the champs, your thoughts on that? One, and also just what you see from Paolo tonight.
I think it's facing the champs. It's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity to see and play against the best team in the league. And that's what I think you have to look at. From last year, they're the champs still until somebody beats them. And I think what they do and what they present is a lot of challenges. And you just have to figure out we have to find a way to figure that out. From Paolo, I think there was times they were loading up on him. I think he was trying to finding the right plays, right passes, defensively trying to get after it. I think there was little small pieces of the game that that they go unseen, but because of how teams are playing him, he was able to make the right plays at the right time. The ball going in the hole. I wish I could tell you something different because we were getting great looks. I think there were a lot of open looks, and so for me to tell you that it wasn't moving, it wasn't going, we were getting a lot of great looks. They loaded up. We were stepping into them. They were not going in, and so we had to rely on our defense to get us out on the break to get easy baskets.
Jamahl, you. Talk to me a little bit about 42 points coming on the bench, AB, Cole Anthony. Totally different from what we have seen here with this team. 28 assists. Is that a combination that we will need in the playoffs to move forward?
Absolutely. And every series is different. It was different tonight, versus Atlanta. We played them 5 times. It's going to be different against Boston. And we'll have to dissect it, figure out exactly what we need to do to score on them. But, again, our defense has to, carry us, and then we'll figure out what our offense looks like as we go down.
Jamahl, you've beaten them twice this year, and you beat them twice last year, Boston. What can you take from those games? Last week might be a little bit more difficult, but what can you take from those 2 victories last year and this year to try to
just know what you're capable of doing. That's one. And then the other side of it, you have to break down film and see exactly what worked, what didn't work, what hurt us, where we thrived. And I think you just have to look at that. Our coaches are going to do an unbelievable job of preparing these guys for what's coming up next and the environment that we're going to see when we get out there.
57 from the bench tonight. Last time you had your full starting lineup against Atlanta, you only had 24. Had more than that in the first half alone tonight. What does that mean for you to see that from your bench heading into the playoffs especially?
Just continue to build confidence. I think these guys have done a tremendous job of continuing to work, continue to trust the process, continue to trust each other more than anything. And that's the group that we have. We constantly say by committee. And so if your starters don't always have it going at the highest level, you've got to continue to find different ways. And I think that bench unit did a great job. And you can just see the energy and excitement for Cole, for AB, coming off the bench and playing the right way and getting it done.
Thank you, Coach Mosley.
Thank you all.